Yo, what up folks, TCG here, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We're playing some Historic for the Historic Metagame Challenge. It's not a format I dip into a ton, but I'm going to bring back one of my kind of pet decks and have a look at the Historic take on it, and that is Dredge. Now, in Historic you get a few extra cards which are pretty nice. We've also got a pretty unique transformational sideboard plan. Into that, the new thing that you don't get in Explorer is Glimpse the Unthinkable. Classic. Blue-black, target player mills 10 cards. This is particularly potent with Founding the Third Path. You can use it to cast it from your hand. Obviously, Founding will then go to step 2, mill 4 cards, and then you can recast the Glimpse or whatever else you want in your graveyard. We've got a bunch of 1-mana enablers. We've got a Secret Keeper, we've got Otherworldly Gaze, we've got Stitcher Supplier. Then at 2, we've got our 4 Narcomoebers to enable our Prized Amalgams. The most powerful thing you can do that you're trying to hit off Glimpse or your other enablers. You're going to bring back your Prized Amalgams, bring back some Silver Smoke Ghouls, which, 2 and a black, if you gain 3 or more life this turn though and it's in the graveyard, you return it from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and it's got the sacrifice ability, most of your playing it's returned from the graveyard. The way you're doing that, of course, is Creeping Chill, 3 and a black, but we are never casting it almost. When it's put into your graveyard from your library, you can exile it. If you do, deals 3 damage to each opponent, you gain 3 life. That fortunately triggers Silver Smoke Ghoul. So we're going to try and mill ourselves with as many cards as possible, hit some Prized Amalgams, hit some Narcomoebers or Silver Smoke Ghouls or Haunting Dead. We've got a couple of copies of as a kind of like backup plan for bringing out Prized Amalgam. Kind of go wide onto the board, and then kind of rounding everything off, we've got 2 copies of Gixian Recycler, which is a cool alchemy card. I'm actually not very familiar with the alchemy stuff because I don't play a ton of Historic. I try and stay away from alchemy in general. There are some really sweet things going on, but I just don't like having to keep track of like multiple versions of cards. But Recycler, when it dies, responds to your graveyard from your hand or library, it puts an extra copy into your graveyard, and then it's got that another ability, so really, really potent. And then the other thing we're playing here is 2 copies of Jace, the Perfected Mind, 2 in a blue, and then the Phyrexian blue, which obviously, sometimes if you get to cast it for 4, it's awesome, because the main thing you're doing here is just dropping it straight through the floor. So minus X, target player mills 3 times X cards. If you play it for 3, it's going to come in on 3, you get to mill yourself for 9. If you play it on 4, you get to mill yourself for 15, and that is going to put a ton of stuff in your graveyard. You get to dome your opponent with Creeping Chill, bring back a pile of stuff, and that's the board unlocked. We're playing 18 lands, 4 Watery Grave, 4 Darkslick Shores, 4 Clearwater Pathway. We've got 2 Underground Rivers, because obviously we do want to cast the colours. We've got Takanuma and Otawara. Otawara particularly opponent in post-board games, but we'll get on to the sideboard stuff later on. Takanuma obviously mills you, but then also you can return some of your enablers, like your Stitch Supply and that kind of thing. It's kind of neat. And then we've got 2 copies of Ipany Rivernet. This is a bit of a backup plan. Hey, if you run out of resources, it's got an extra way to mill yourself. But yeah, Desert Land, 1 blue, tap, sacrifice a desert, target player mills 4 cards. Obviously, normally sacrificing yourself with that, but that kind of brings us on to our sideboard plan. Rather than go for a traditional sideboard, I've decided to do something that I've been thinking about and kind of like had in the back of my mind for a while. I'm just going to transform it into a mill deck. We've got 4 copies of Ruin Crab, obviously the classic landfall ability. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, each player opponent mills 3 cards. The staple of mill. We've got 2 more copies of Jace, and then we get to start targeting our opponent with it, and then we get to use the kind of draw ability, which is really, really nice. We've got Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which is I think the card that most enables us to use this strategy, because it gets so many cards from your opponent's library, especially in Historic, where the average convert mana cost is a little bit lower. That's kind of how things tend to go in older formats, or formats of more powerful cards. Each opponent exiles cards to the top of their library until that player has exiled cards of mana value 20 or more. The mass exile the cards here, and then the ability to flash that back with Founding the Third Path enables you to have enough resources to mill your opponent out with a sideboard plan, which is really strong. And then like we're supporting that with Ruin Crab, we've got our Jaces, and then we've also got 4 copies of Maddening Cacophony, which is also pretty great with Founding the Third Path. And then later on in the game also, hey, it's a mill 8 at the front end, but you can kick it for 6 if you get that far, and your opponent mills half their library, which is pretty nice. And the last thing here, just to round things out, 1 copy of Mosaic. Because of the Founding stuff, I'm playing full Cacophony, but there are some arguments and definitely some matchups where the Mesmeric Orb would maybe mill more cards. But we're going for a full transformational sideboard here. And so this could be quite interesting. We'll see how it goes. It's the Metagame Challenge, so it is best of 3 matches, and play till we lose. So we'll see how this goes. It's actually like 30 minutes to midnight here, so if we get deep in, I might get quite tired, but we're going to give it a run, see how it goes. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. I don't touch on Historic that often, but it's a sweet format, and as things go, we're not actually getting a new standard set till September. And so I might end up playing a bit more Historic, especially with Lord of the Rings coming out. The format's getting pretty exciting. Or it's already at an exciting point, but it's going to have some more traction over the coming months. I will say on that note as well that if you're like follow me for more Explorer content, I really think that there's an opportunity for them to drop another supplementary, like, arena-only set, either July or August, so I keep an eye out for either something like Explorer Anthology 2, or something like a Battle for Zendikar remastered, or even an RTR remastered. Return to Ravnica would be amazing as well. That kind of thing. I'm kind of like, July, August might be a really good time for that. We have the opportunity to go on the play, and so we'll take that opponent on some kind of Lurrus pile, a few different variations here. We have a one-lander, but with otherworldly gaze, we have a fairly good chance of finding a second land. We are kind of mulliganed already by having a Creeping Chill on our opener. Price Amalgam we can discard to some things, it isn't too bad. But I'm like, do we want to keep this? I think I want to take a mulligan here. We're a little bit more aggressive. Ugh. This is kind of in a similar spot. We have Dark Six Shores as our only land. We have the Founding plus Glimpse, but we have no way now to find a second land. I think this feels pretty shaky. We still have a Creeping Chill here. Alright, I'm gonna mulligan one more time. Okay, we're gonna keep this, and it's okay. It seems a little dire, but we'll try and draw out of it. We'll keep 5. Obviously, we don't need all these lands, but we'll put an Underground River. I'll put the Watery Grave on the bottom. Actually, we've got a land for turn 1. I'll put the Clear Road Pathway. Just make sure we've got more colours. And then obviously, because we've already got 3 lands, the Ottawara is going to do... Or we're more likely to be able to activate the Ottawara later on for something useful. Okay. Raise the Vote Thicket. Yeah. Oh, Cicada's Aid implies Hammer. Ah, with Lurrus as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Drawing the Founding is actually really, really strong for us. We're going to play it. We're going to miss the first path. And so, because of the Reader Head ability, we don't need to worry about casting the TMC2 card. We'll just mill ourselves for 4. And see how we go. We didn't actually hit anything to flash back, but the Haunting Dead is reasonable to have. That's not the worst. That's a bad build with Invisible Stalker. It could be auras as well. It might not actually be Hammer, but obviously this is heavily implying. There could be some kind of amalgamation of both. The one thing I'm not super familiar with the format. Have the opportunity to discard to this Haunting Dead here, but actually not really worth it right now. We don't know how much pressure they're going to have next turn. I think I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go ahead and Founding. And just try and hit stuff into our graveyard. We'll try again to mill ourselves for 4. Okay, so now we at least have Glimpse that we know we can flash back. So I will play this Ottawara out. We're going to be able to mill ourselves for 10 next turn. They could just have like 2 Colossus Hammers with Dead, which is, you know, sure. Okay, so it is Hammer. They don't have a second one, but I don't have a way to interact with this really. Ooh. Yeah, Invisible Stalker I think was added in the like Shadows of the Past bit of Innistrad. We need to hit some stuff here. We'll self-cast. We don't have extra land. Alright, we hit Creeping Chill, we hit Enablers. So we've got 2 Narcomoebas with Creeping Chill. We know we've got a Price Amalgam in the graveyard as well. This Creeping Chill will hopefully put us above the Invisible Stalker life total. Now, so if they don't have a way to pump it, then as this crashes in, we go down to 1. Oh, they have a Shadow Spear. Okay, that is lethal. Okay, a little unfortunate the mulligan. Maybe I should have kept the 7. It's really hard to tell with this deck. You've got so much potential. The one thing is, because of what they're doing, I don't want to bring this mill game plan in. This is going to be a bit too slow. They maybe have access to some Resting Pieces. We have like an Ottawara, but if we get a fast, we can have a very, very fast start to the point where Return to Rest in Peace, we can outrace. It is not impossible, or if that's improbable. I'm just going to run it back. Yeah, losing at the first hurdle wouldn't be fun. This deck's sweet. It's quite greedy, I guess, in that you're playing... Well, it looks like they're playing some green cards as well. I'm just trying to think what they'll be playing in total. They've got Stalker. Yeah, the Alchemy 1-drop they played there. That reduces the equip... That turns the equip cost into 1, I think. The Hammer is really strong. And then I think it's also a cat, so it works with the cat that picks up equipment. Well, that lets cats pick up equipment. I don't know what the green's for off the top of my head. We'll play. Alright, so this looks really solid. We have turn 1 Secret Keeper ourselves. We have the 2 Narcomoebas in hand. We have to stay with that. That's fine. We have enough going on here that this hand is really good. I'm going to take damage off the Rivulet so we can play this with black. That's fine. I wonder if that... I'm like... Maybe they'll look in Fluorescent Piece. If they have some. It's very dangerous. But hey. It looks like they kept 7, actually. We're going to go ahead and Secret Keeper ourselves. And then we're leading this into Founding into Glimpse. There is the Prize Amalgam in the graveyard. We just need to find a way to bring it back. And hopefully find some other stuff while we're at it. Yeah, so Glimpse plus Founding is milling ourselves 24 cards in total. So that turns our hammer into equip 1, which, you know, is threatening. Taking a little damage here to do this, but I think that's okay. We'll Glimpse ourselves. Alright, so we hit Narcomoeba. Okay, we hit Recycler, which puts extra copies of itself in the graveyard, which is awesome. And we hit both Recyclers. Okay. This gives us, like, infinite ways to bring the Price Amalgam back again and again and again. Whether that matters here, we'll see. But, hey. I'm just thinking, I might want to stop my upkeep for this Otherworldly Gaze. In fact, I know... This time we're going to mill for... Draw step after draw step. They have a Sagada's Aid. We should block. I was trying to work out if I want a double block. I'm not going to because if it's just a hammer, you can preserve damage here. If it is like the, yeah, okay, sure, cool. The one thing with the hammer here is that we have blockers. We have some blockers. So this is going to mill us for 4. I'm trying to work out what else we're going to do. We can Otherworldly Gaze, find something to do, or we can look to bring back something with Recycler. We can bring back our Recycler and kind of like go off. I think I actually want to Recycler here. We'll take a draw step. Okay. What else for 4? If we hit a Haunted Dead as well, the thing here is that we can... Oh, that's big. I'm going to set a stop at the end of my opponent's second main. But I'll likely do this in combat now. They could have a Shadow Spear. They could have like Hammer Shadow Spear and we might be... There's a chance we are actually dead. That'd be 23. I got a shock for the breeding pool, okay. That is dangerous. We're going to go Haunted Dead here. We'll discard the Prized Amalgam and the Silver Mogul, which will come out of our graveyard. Haunted Dead will trigger the Prized Amalgam. How we drew it up. Yeah, they're definitely wanting to attack and not block. Interesting. I'll put this here. Fine. We'll keep our low total steady. They've not found a way to push damage through with Trample yet. There are a couple of things to worry about. That is... okay. Have they got Thopters or a way of generating Thopters to sacrifice to make 4/4s? Alright. This is coming back. We're at one of these things where we have a choice again here. We can either Glimpse ourselves. We can Glimpse. We can play Supplier and Glimpse. We can play Sigil Supplier plus Secret Keeper. I want to see how many... Sorry. We've hit 1 Creeping Chill so far. I'm liking Glimpse. I think we've got a couple of creatures that we can leave back as well. Glimpsing gives us the most potential for lethal. Obviously we can hit Creeping Chill. We can hit a bunch of other stuff as well. I'm going to go ahead and run this. They might have interaction. It is Shock. Okay. That is not the greatest. They're at 7. I'm going to make this attack. We'll leave back the Narcomoeba to block. I should actually... This still presents 7, but hey. Alright, yeah. They're going to make a Thopter. Fine. Having a little insurance against this is okay. I don't know what removal they're playing. Maybe they have portable holes. I'm gonna make this block. Alright, let's just keep it up. We're just going into game 3. You can see kind of the power and explosiveness of Dredge there. We're still not going to mess with any of this stuff. Actually, it's just too slow for the matchup. We also didn't actually see any hate cards there. Are the Jace better than anything in particular here? I don't think so. Because the Recyclers don't do anything on defense, they're actually not the greatest here. But I think they'll do more than enough. Us trying to get to like the point where we can like Jace minus it a bunch of cards. Yeah. This is maybe me also being a little bit results orientated by us just not having lands in our opening game one hand. We'll see. So they got to be on the play. We've seen the Thopter part of the deck now as well. We still don't know what the green's for. I wish I knew the format a little bit better, I'll be honest. Alright. Yeah, if we lose here, then I will re-rack and we'll run it, have another run. Keep in the same video. This is unfortunately not on. That's what I was a little worried about. A pile of cards we don't want on our opener, and also not enough lands. Okay, so here we've got two enablers, which is actually fine. So we're gonna keep 6. This Haunted Dead is gonna go on the bottom. We have no real way to discard it except to itself. There's only other one copy in the version that we're playing. These here are reasonable, but a little awkward because again we've actually played this one down already. So you kind of want to hit this. Yeah, there's no way for against the graveyard. We'll see. We'll see. They did mulligan, I think. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see what they do on turn 1. Well, they did make an Esper Sentinel. Means I'm okay. That's the second land, which is great because you can cast these 3-drops. I will Stitch a Supplier and not let them draw a card here. There's the Haunted Dead we need. Okay, excellent. So we get to drop these 2 Prize Amalgams to the Haunted Dead, bring them both back this turn. They're gonna say, oh jeez. I think this is 3. This is 4 to activate. It's more likely that the Takenuma, that the Otawara is useful this game if we just, for whatever reason, keep drawing lands. Again, I'm going to set a stop here. The way Prize Amalgam works, this triggers to come back on end step. And so if you have a card, if you bring this back on end step, for example, it'll trigger then. It'll come back on the next end step. We need to basically Haunted Dead before the end step. Here they're trying to pass wind. We're going to go ahead and do this. They should add a Lurrus, which is wild to me. Not letting them draw for this percent here is great. And now they're under a ton of pressure. Still we draw another Stitcher Supplier. Okay. I don't even have. I'm just gonna attack all here, see what we hit. Right, they're 10. They're only too greedy. You just play Silver Michael. If we give them a card, we can Secret Keeper. I think expecting to draw 2 more lands to activate the Otawara is greedy. So what I'm going to do is Secret Keeper ourselves, and I will pay the 1. Okay, Silver Smoke draw into Graveyard, and then I will do this. Are they gonna have... Temporary Lockdown doesn't do it, actually. If they've somehow got, like, verdicts, I will eat my socks. Alright. The math gets more interesting with Lurrus in play, but only a little. So there's double Esper Sentinel here. We want to make attacks first. This is obviously in the air. These get blocked by the Lurrus, but in a way that is good for us, because we get some mill cards. Let's see what they want to do. So they're on 10, effectively 13. They're going to make this block here. We'll see if they want to trade here. They can trade into the Haunted Dead, which seems bad, and trade one of them off with the Stitcher Supplier. Alright. This in itself is fine. We'll see what we hit here. 1, 2, 3, nothing. So they'll be able to bring this back, which is why like that trade is good for them. They're on 6. I don't know why I'm kind of zooming and eyeing here. We're going to do this. I'm also going to pay again. just going to deny them getting the extra cards. Alright. It's another Narcomoeba. It's another Narcomoeba. It's a Ice Amalgam. Unless they have some way to like... if they're like a... what am I talking about? Decree? I'm thinking of the Exile, all the same name, unless they... Decree. You can't guess this. 1, 2, 3 in the air. We have to make a bunch of bad blocks. I think it's worth us bringing one of these back. I'm just going to send with everything. It's a little lazy, but I think this is correct. These are obviously only getting traded with Luris unless they put all 3 in front of 1, in which case they're taking enough damage. They're effectively at 9. 1, 2, 3 coming in the air puts them at 6, and they have to proc a number of things. Are they going to eat the Haunted Dead here? Or are they going to eat the Citrus Supplier? So the minute they're taking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Obviously they can block something. Okay, so here they're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's maths. They're going to gain some life. Okay, they're thinking about it again. They don't want to trade the Luris off. This is dangerous because obviously we get to hit cards. They're going to land on 1. That's a Creeping Chill. Take action. Gonna hit one eventually. Or a land to cast the one we have in hand. Alright, nice. We made it through the Boggle's Hammer deck. Luris with Hammer is super, super potent. Probably one of the better decks of the format. Let's go again. I think that's 1,000 gold. I'm not sure. I think you need like a couple of wins to get your entry back, and then you start accumulating boosters. But yeah, not the matchup to test the Dredge plan, but okay. Makes me think like, I wonder how much graveyard hate people are playing the format in general. Okay, that's what. Okay, well. Oh my gosh, yeah, this is similar as well. Alright, we'll keep this. That's fine. The Creeping Chill. Need activity. Putting Creeping Chill on the bottom is actually good. Weirdly. The 4 mans mean we're likely to activate the Sakanuma. Something like we can play from hand if need be. Plus we can like Grisly Salvage this card into the graveyard. So one of the cards going back should be a land. Excuse me. Past that, I need to work out. Do you put the chill on the bottom and just kind of commit to it? Oh, it's the card that's doing the least, right? Also brings back the chill. Yeah, this is fine. I think we keep 3 land. It just doesn't feel great. That makes it feel better. Apply it into Glimpse. Let's see what we hit. There are some pretty crazy like turn 1s that you can have. If you hit like Narcomoeba Prize Amalgam, you're obviously putting a lot of time to play. Or similarly, you have the same thing if you hit Creeping Chill and excuse me, Creeping Chill and Silver Mogul. That's also really, really good. Okay. I will not attack. Let's go ahead and fire this off. Alright, it's a Prize Amalgam coming back. No attacks for now. Bring this back. Maybe this is rats.deck. That's what this implies to me. Certainly. We have a Silver Ghoul in the graveyard. We've got 2 Haunted Deads. We can get this Prize Amalgam back into play. I'm just going to block here. Would you believe it? They have. So the King of the Rats, which I can't remember the name of. It's not called the King of the Rats. It's like a collector. It like looks at the top like 5 cards, puts the rats in the hand. This is actually really relevant. We might actually cast this. Not Death Touch. It proliferates when it dies. I'm pretty happy making this attack. Be a little careful. We don't want to get poisoned out here. Rat poison. I'm going to set the same stop again so that we stop before them end phase. End step. So what we want to do is price Amalgam into that. I'm also thinking if we don't draw the land... No, I think we take a draw step rather than fire off the other Worldly Gaze. Otherwise I'd set a stop here to look for an upkeep. It might still be better. The chances of destroying the 4th land are pretty low. I'll have a think about it depending on what our opponent does here. I'm gonna go ahead and block one of these with the flying token to kind of create a bit of a buffer. We just take 4. I'm gonna let this hit because the flyers are obviously evasive. So there's some merit there. We now have some poison counters. We might have just turned on what they're doing, but I don't know enough from what they've shown us yet. Okay. More toxicity. I'm just going to go ahead and fire this off. We will price amalgam Silver Smoke into the graveyard. I think we want to spend this turn setting up this otherworldly gaze. Or well, otherworldly gazing. I think it's better. This being a 2/4 is actually huge. What's up with that? We have 2 ghouls in our graveyard. If we fire this off now, we can find the land out of the next turn and maybe have another enabler. See how things go. Okay, interesting. Appear that's the right land to have as well, actually, to be fair. Yeah, we'll do this, that's okay. It's like settling us in for a little bit more slowness. But I think that is okay for our purposes here. Yeah. One of these gets blocked. Oh, this is going to be interesting. You take what? 2, 3 poison? Math is for blockers, but we don't want to die. This is down to 11. This is menace as well. If it's not blocking though, then I'm going to put some more damage through. Surely this is not the stone wall that we are fearing. Alright, I'm going to swing with everything. I'll put this in front of one of these. It lets them perforate. But that's all. It's like letting them hit us, but they don't gain life. I'm going to hold another graveyard is also fine. If they somehow decide they want to save their creature. Okay. Sure. Interesting. So what interesting in saving that, but we are now on 7 poison. Means we need blockers next turn. Unless we can do a bit. Returns a creature from the graveyard to hand. We hit a land anyway. That feels a little bad. We'll keep this in hand for the Haunted Dads. Currently we need to keep 3 blockers back, which is miserable. How many other ways are they going to have to proliferate? Yeah, so it looks like at the moment I want to. Activate as a sorcery, just anytime. This one, yeah, they're all sorcery, I think. Okay. I so want to attack, but I'm a little scared of this. Here. No. I want to know what they're going to do if they try to block. But the other thing is that we're going wide on the board here. And so, it's setting up for lethal next turn. Potentially. Depending on what we draw, what they play. And potentially what we hit off the Symphony Ribbon. Okay, they're just going to second to draw a card. There. I felt way more confident in the points where we were kind of like going, battling it out last game. Here is this is completely unknown. I'm like, I can at least guess the cards our opponent's deck last time. But here I'm like, are we gonna get Invoke Despaired? Is that what's gonna happen? Hopefully not. Would like to avoid that. Okay. Oh! Okay, that perforates as well. Okay, sure. Of course it does. Are they gonna make any attacks though? I wanna know. That is what I wanna know. They are. They're currently on 8 poison. Kind of down to double block this because it's toxic too. This gets us out of the way of most of the poison stuff and puts us. We basically want to make sure we're not within 1 proliferate. If we can stop the blight belly rat, that'd be great. Like, just not have to interact with this by blocking with 1 once. We do have another Hornet to bring back. Okay, that's a knock amoeba. But here, they have to trade the board, right? Oh, there's a couple of things actually. You can maybe sacrifice a Silver Mogul to get some activity while we Haunted Dad. This Strand's lethal. This trading with one of these is not ideal. Do you leave one of these back for the Blight Belly? No, we want to try and block it with a 1-1 one way or the other. Okay. They might just only block 1, that'd be cool. Don't do that. We're kind of leaving Haunted Den out to dry here, but I think that that is okay given what we're doing. We put into 2. I'm going to play this. I will activate the Pini Rivulet. Target me. Just in case we do hit. Sacrifice it. I mean, we could hit Crippling Chill, it's true. Alright, in that case, we'll set a stop on our upkeep for the other world decays, and then we'll play like this. We are dead to this. So what does that do? Oh, it's to hand, okay. To get the rat back. I want Otherworldly Gaze now. This one's going to the graveyard. I want to read ahead or the Recycler. Recycler lets us get another creature into play now. Which sounds good. And drawing the Foundering sounds decent too. They're on 2. Yeah, sure. Let's do this. Draw. Go to main. Bring this back. Bring one of these back. Just come into the red zone. Yeah, I need to kill 2 creatures. I don't think that's possible. Fortunately, even if the death triggers would put the perfect on the stacks to kill, the damage just happens before the triggers on the stack. Okay. Alright. So question 2 is, do we want to board into the mill strategy here? I'm not sure we do. I'm again not sure we do. They're playing mono black, they're kind of limited, they can have 4 copies of Liana in the world, but I doubt that, kind of based on the make of their deck, which is maybe a little prejudice. But oh, that's probably not the right word. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. Again, do we want Jace over anything? The way to be consistent in these kind of matchups is just to have the cards to mill as many, like, just, you want to mill as many raw cards as possible. The Heating Lands is nice. I might cut these Recyclers for 2 more copies of Chase. Again, the 2 lands though. Ugh, feels bad. No, leave it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. Uncounting too many 3-drops is a problem. Which is, you know, because that 3 is too many 3. Oh, this is the second hand in a row. Okay. Okay. We'll keep this, put the skill on the bottom. 3 lands. I think keeping 3 lands is... We didn't see a 1-drop last game. I should be showing more respect because they are 1-0 in the event. Won't be slacking. Death Touch. Toxic. Flying. Get poison. Feels weird. I want to make the recycler so we actually can interact with this on the ground. We also don't have an instant sorcery for pounding yet, so we're kind of just like taking a bunch of points otherwise. On the play, I'd definitely be just slamming this on turn 2, but on the draw here, I'm actually going to defend a little bit. This also sets us up a little bit. If it dies from the graveyard, it also puts 2 copies of itself into the... It puts an extra copy of itself into the graveyard. Okay. Well, this is bad. Yeah, it's just full poison team deck. We are on the full poison. I want to stem the bleeding. In for penny, in for pound. Okay. We're 5 poison already. Getting comboed out. This is Death Touch, but I'm fine putting the price marker in the graveyard. You just want to slow this down a little bit. We also know that we have a way to bring it out. And so this time, we're going to leave the Founding. I'm going to put it on phase 2, mill 4. Okay, cool. So this Creeping Chill triggers the Silver Mogul. That's fine. We know now that we're going to get a Prized Amalgam coming back here, so we don't necessarily have to do this. But, yeah, I think we're better off doing the one from hand. The other thing we can do is just set up another Founding. We don't have a way to block this. Founding versus Make Recycler. I think we just Founding because that has the highest, like, quote-unquote chance to increase our clock. Okay, Otherworldly Gaze, we're going to stick this here, but realistically, I'm on board to bring like double recycler next turn. What do we got to flash back? We did have a Glimpse. We have Glimpse, and we have a Gaze. This is what we have 6 damage. We're bringing back. Yeah. And then not to Gaze upkeep then. Let me get to see what we draw, and then decide what to flash back with these. Okay. 7. They're losing life for this though. Is at least something. That proliferates, which is not good for us. That does that. Did you rivel it? One of these definitely wants to do this. We'll set these targets. I think I want to decline this. Yeah. I think I want to try and hit Haunted Dead. Run it up. Put them some away. We hit a lot, but Narcomoeba is a bit like hitting a Haunted Dead. The other thing we wanted to do, we have a Prize Amalgam in the yard that's coming back. Didn't hit a Haunted Dead. Where be what? Is it Ghoul here? No. Again, we have a pile of power we can pull out of the graveyard. Soon. Yeah. I'll make this attack. I'm happy about that. We are at 9 poison, but not getting better than that for us. And we'll see if they have any of their like 6 different cards to give us poison counters directly. Yeah, that's a stat. There's a drowning Ichor. Alright. Game number 3. We're gonna stay configured as we are. We're not gonna put into the mill plant. It's more it's more for like control decks, mid-range strategies, where they're gonna have like access to like a bunch of different graveyard hate. So Operation Keepable 7. Nothing going on here. Okay, here we've got a Founding, Otherworldly Gaze, got a Haunted Dead, but that's not doing anything either. We've got Otherworldly Gaze, we're kind of leaning into that a bit. We'll keep this. I'm gonna put the Narcomoeba on the bottom. The most useless of the cards that we have. In theory, I should cast this now. It feels a little weird, but that's okay. I don't want these. I don't necessarily want the Founding. No, I'm gonna get rid of it. You want to try and find a glimpse for this, if at all possible. The reason why you do this main phase here is because if you hit Silver Smoke Ghoul, only checks on your end step. Okay. Interesting. Play this down on 2, mill 4 cards. Okay, there's a Narcomoeba. Fair play. We've got Otherworldly Gaze here. But this flashes back the Glimpse. Oh, it doesn't flash back the Glimpse. Oh dear. Okay. We start the block off. We just have to. A Drawing Supplier is like fine in theory. We can't cast Glimpse unfortunately because of our mana situation. But maybe soon. Okay, Blackland is good here. Go into graveyard. It might as well be Takenuma, really. Yeah, we're in a sticky spot. Oh dear. See what else they have. Steaming Aspirant. Whenever you perforate each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Pretty good. It was a player away. Okay. That throws the bottom of the flyer, which is great. We love that. So, chill, good. We have a bunch of life draws. Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and shoot down that. So they gain some life, we lose some life, which is actually pretty big. I wonder if they're gonna attack with the Aspirant here or not. Kinda interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to, so we're on 3. Okay, this is big. Pray for me. Double Creeping Chill does a lot of damage. We're so close yet so far. We have a block for the rat, which is great. Life Vanessa gets to tap us for 1. Down to 2 cards, which is neat. 3. Don't need this. I think December on 24. We're at 4 poison. There are 2 cards. Get this to come back. Fueling again is bad. I'm just gonna make the price amalgam from hand. At least make it, if it dies, it comes back. We're taking 2, going up to 6. That's so much. That's so much. Okay, 4. We'll get rid of a ghoul. This might be how we fall. One, 2. 3 poison. It's the same, isn't it? We lose some life. You both get an 8 poison either way. Land for Haunted Dead might be great here. It's not a land for Haunted Dead. What does that do? We can't really change how we play. Yeah, we want to activate this. We should definitely attack first. Thing is, if this card just says gain a poison counter, we're done. Unless we hit Creeping Chill. We can't hit Creeping Chill. We have hit all the Creeping Chills that are possible to be hit. They're going to make a block here. Which is fine for us. I just very much need this to be... you know what? Okay. Not impossible. None of those cards do it though, right? Yeah. If we have like 2 routes to victory here, one of them is draw a land, so we get to bring back 2 of these things. Man, that feels bad. Is there anything? This is not. We can't even activate this. Oh, we hit Narcomoebas. One, 2. One's the bottom of our library. We have 1 Narcomoeba in the deck. Alright, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna give them the least amount of opportunities possible to come through to us. 1 time dealer, please. Nah, that's not gonna do it. How embarrassing. That's tough. That's tough. We're at 50 minutes, which is normally about where that's about the length I normally record for. If we lost the first match, I think I'd have re-racked for another game, since we lost the second, and it's now gone midnight here. I think I'm gonna call it there. So hey. Mixing it up, things a bit different. That's pretty funny. The Historic deck is good. It's especially good in Best of 1. Best of 3, obviously you're into Graveyard Hate and stuff, but the explosiveness of the Dredge deck is really, really powerful in the Historic format. And yeah, if you're not already and you've enjoyed, please do like, subscribe, that kind of stuff. Do check out Explorer if you're not already. Format's amazing. I've got a bunch of videos on Dredge there too. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.